I'm 29M, and I've been with my girlfriend Emily, 28F, for 2 years. We met through mutual friends at game night, hit it off over board games and bad puns, and things got serious quick from weekend road trips where we'd blast playlists and stop at random diners, to her moving into my apartment 6 months ago. She's always been supportive, like helping me through job stress with home-cooked meals or surprise notes in my lunch. And we talk about future stuff like getting a dog or traveling more. But last week, I found suspicious texts on her phone while she was in the shower. Stuff from my best friend like, "Can't wait to see you tonight," with heart emojis. Another saying, "Last night was amazing. Let's do it again soon." And photos of them at a jewelry store looking cozy, arms around each other. It looked like cheating, plain and simple, especially since she'd been secretive about errands lately, coming home late with vague excuses. I snapped, feeling my stomach drop as I scrolled, and made a Reddit post detailing it all as a vent, tagging her username. She's active here on subs like relationship advice, and shared the link in our group chat so friends would know why we were done before she could spin it or cover up. The post blew up fast, with everyone piling on calling her out, comments flooding in about how she was sneaky, and by the time she saw it, her phone was blowing up with messages from her circle. She came home crying, saying I humiliated her without hearing her side, but I told her the evidence spoke for itself and I couldn't trust her anymore. Now our friends are divided. Some say I was justified to expose a cheater publicly to protect myself. Others think I went too far by going viral without talking first, making it impossible for her to defend herself quietly. My brother says it was harsh but understandable if she really betrayed me, especially after my last ex who did cheat and left me paranoid. I'm second-guessing now, feeling the regret creep in as I sit alone in our quiet apartment, replaying the post in my head and wondering if I overdid it. Am I in the wrong for breaking up with my girlfriend by posting about her cheating on Reddit and tagging her so all our friends saw it before she could even respond? Or should I have handled it privately and given her a chance to explain? Update 1. I was still fuming after finding those texts and photos on Emily's phone suggesting she was cheating with my best friend, like messages about meeting up secretly, pics of them smiling at what looked like romantic spots, including one at a park bench where they were sharing coffee, which led to me impulsively posting about it on Reddit, tagging her, and sharing in our friend group to break up publicly before she could explain. The fallout hit fast that same evening when she stormed into the apartment, phone in hand with notifications going off nonstop from friends and even distant acquaintances who'd seen the shared link. And we had our first real confrontation that shook everything up but didn't clarify much yet, leaving me pacing the living room long after that. She was in tears, asking why I'd air it all out like that without giving her a chance, pointing out how the post had her mutual friends texting her judgmental stuff, like one calling her untrustworthy, and even her coworkers seeing it since to follow her online and had started whispering at her job the next day. I defended myself, showing her the screenshots I'd saved, like one text saying, "This ring is perfect for us," with a winky face and a photo of them hugging outside a fancy restaurant, and said it looked undeniable that I'd been burned by cheating in a past relationship where my ex lied for months and couldn't risk being played again, especially with how close she and my friend seemed in those shots. She tried to explain it was a misunderstanding, that the meetings were innocent, and she'd tell me everything soon if I just calmed down, but begged me to take down the post first to stop the damage, saying it made her look awful and was ruining her reputation at work, where a colleague had already pulled her aside to ask if everything was okay based on the drama. I refused at first, feeling too raw and insisting she come clean right then about every detail, but she pushed back, saying I didn't trust her enough to listen privately and that my paranoia was the real issue here, then grabbed an overnight bag and left to stay with her sister for the night, slamming the door behind her. The next morning, my best friend called in a panic, saying the post had him fielding awkward questions from our circle, like a buddy asking if he was really that kind of guy, and that I had it all wrong, but he wouldn't elaborate over the phone, just urged me to meet up in person. Friends are split, some messaging support for exposing her, others saying I overreacted and should have talked first, adding to my growing doubt as I scrolled through the Reddit comments, calling me everything from a hero to a jerk, my coffee going cold while I stare at my screen. I took the post down eventually, but the screenshots had already spread online. My mom thinks I jumped the gun without all the facts. But is there a way to fix this mess? Or did I ruin things for good by letting my fears take over? Update 2. The Reddit post I made accusing Emily of cheating based on those shady texts and photos with my best friend, like flirty messages about nights out, jewelry shopping, and that park coffee pic that screamed affair, exploded when I tagged her and shared it with friends, leading to that emotional apartment showdown where she demanded I remove it, hinted at a misunderstanding, and stormed out to her sisters. Things escalated the next day when my best friend insisted on meeting at a coffee shop to set the record straight, dropping a revelation that flipped the script and left me drowning in regret over my rash actions, especially as I sat there sipping my latte and realizing how badly I'd misread everything. We sat at a corner table, the place humming with morning rush and the smell of fresh pastries doing nothing to ease my nerves, as he pulled out his phone to show context I hadn't seen. Turns out the dates were him helping Emily plan a surprise proposal to me, with the jewelry store pics being them picking out an engagement ring she'd saved for over months, and the texts were coded to keep it secret, like the ring is perfect for us, meaning for our future together, not them as a couple. He explained she'd recruited him because he knows my style best from years of friendship, and the restaurant meetups were scouting venues for the proposal, complete with notes on romantic spots she'd wanted to recreate our first date at, including that park where we shared our first kiss. Emily joined halfway through, still upset but calmer after a night's sleep, and laid it out that she'd been planning this for months to make it special, tying in little details like the board games from how we met and even a custom engraving on the ring with our inside joke. But my post derailed everything by making her look like a cheater to everyone we know, with some friends even unfriending her on social media. I apologized profusely right there, explaining my past ex who actually cheated had left me paranoid about signs like secretive texts, and seeing those snippets triggered old fears without thinking it through or considering innocent explanations. But she pointed out how the public humiliation hurt deeply, with family asking questions based on the post, and her feeling like she had to defend herself constantly. We talked for hours, going back and forth on how to move forward, her forgiving me a bit, but saying we needed space to rebuild trust, especially since the irony of me accusing her of betrayal while she was planning our engagement wasn't lost on anyone, and it even made her question if I was ready for that step. Reddit comments poured in after I updated the original post with this twist, some laughing at the mix-up and others sharing similar stories of jumping to conclusions, which helped lighten my mood amid the embarrassment. Our friend group is buzzing, some teasing me for the drama, and others checking on her. But can we move past this, or has the damage to her feelings made it too hard to recover fully? Update 3. The chaos from my public Reddit breakup post calling out Emily for what I thought was cheating with my best friend, based on misinterpreted texts about secret meetings, ring shopping, and cozy photos like the park one that blew up when tagged and shared. Peaked in a coffee shop reveal where it turned out she was actually planning a surprise proposal with his help, using those outings to pick the perfect ring and spot, complete with details tailored to our history. We spent the following weeks navigating the aftermath through long talks and small gestures, slowly piecing things back together in a way that strengthened us overall, even if it meant facing some lingering awkwardness in our social circle. She stayed at her sister's for a bit longer than planned, giving us both time to cool off and reflect, but we started with daily check-ins over coffee or walks in the park, where I'd share more about my insecurity from that old breakup and how it made me jump to conclusions without asking, admitting specific triggers like heart emojis that echoed my ex's affair, and she'd open up about feeling exposed and hurt by the online fallout, like dealing with awkward silences at gatherings where friends still referenced the post, or even a cousin who saw it and called to gossip. We worked on boundaries step by step, like me promising to talk things out privately first, and her including me in big plans sooner to avoid secrets, even laughing now about how this scandal accidentally sped up our engagement talk. She pulled out the ring she'd hidden away during the drama, and we made it official last weekend with a low-key dinner, just us and close friends who'd stuck by through the mess, toasting to second chances. It's good overall. The experience humbled me, teaching me to pause and communicate instead of reacting impulsively. And our relationship feels more solid with that foundation. Plus, the ironic story has become a fun anecdote in our circle, bringing us closer to everyone as they share their own mishap tales. We're planning a real getaway to celebrate. No secrets this time. And I've even started journaling to handle triggers better, turning a near disaster into our happy beginning with a stronger appreciation for trust.